Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I hope you are well. I'm so delighted to be here with you today again for another live. We are talking about self-employment versus business ownership mindset and why it even matters. What is it and how do you shift if at all you need to? So self-employment versus business ownership mindset. And we're here. It's a beautiful day again today. I can't believe that we're nearly through January. Can you believe? Just unbelievable. So, listen, if you are listening live, say hello and get involved in the conversation and tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and whether you are self-employed, whether you run a business, how do you see yourself? So, listen, what I want to do is I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey through this self-employment to business ownership mindset. A lot of the people, and you might be this individual as well, who started your business up from a great idea, something that empowered you and give you so much energy and passion to be able to go out and start your own business up. Whether you were, a hairdresser, or were a manufacturer of something, whether you're a fitness coach, whatever it was that you were doing or are doing right now, you had a plan in your head that said, you know what, I can do this better on my own. I'm going to give myself a chance. I'm going to back myself 100%. And good on you. It's a great start into business. The thing with self-employment and having that self-employed mindset is that we actually hear those words around us a lot. So if you think about when you set up your business in the first place, you probably went online and set your accounts up and so on. Your accountant probably said, are you self-employed? And you probably went, well, yes, I don't employ anybody else. I'm self-employed and that's me. So you kind of contained or grabbed hold of that label. The thing is with self-employment is that you are basically the employee of your own business. So you have to transfer time to money, and there's a connection to that. And you are also massively connected to the product. Let's just take it if you were a hairdresser, for example. You are the hairdresser. You go into work as a self-employed hairdresser, and you are the one who cuts the hair. Therefore, you're swapping your time for the money that you receive from your clients that you've cut hair for. And that's a transaction, but it's also one of those things that lends itself to only being able to transfer hours for money. So if you want to earn more money as a self-employed person, how do you do that? Well, normally you increase your prices a little bit, and maybe you could increase them if you're fantastic at what you do a lot, and be at the top end of your marketplace. Then what do? Well, probably the only thing you can do as a self-employed person is work harder, work longer. And that's okay for a while. I think that if you're at a baseline moving through self-employment and you're honing your art, if you like, then working a little bit longer will get you better results. Increasing your prices will get you better results. But there is a point at which that plateaus. It has to plateau. You only have so many hours in the day, and there's only a certain price that people will actually pay for you as well. So if you then want to get more out of life and build more wealth and build a legacy for the future, then that mindset has got to shift. And self-employment is base level thinking. There's something to build upon from that. And also with self-employment, it can be quite ego driven as well. It's like, well, I'm the person who's the best hairdresser. I'm the one who people want to come and see. I'm the only one who can solve that problem in the organization. So here's the interesting thing. When self-employed individuals move in and start to employ people, that mindset of self-employment can still follow them. There are lots of business owners that I've worked with in the past that contain that self-employed mindset, even though they've got a team of 10 people around them. So their customers see them as the expert. The customers will call them to ensure that they're the person who deal with any problems that they might have. And the business owner, it feels good. It feels good to be wanted. So that kind of ego kind of drives that through as well, as much as we probably don't even recognize it or see it. So here's the thing, self-employment, that mindset will hold you back eventually unless you can get into that more business owner mindset. And what is a business owner mindset anyway? Well, as a business owner, one of the things that you'll be doing is you will be leveraging team more. Okay, so you will be employing people in so that you can actually earn money from what they do for your business. And it allows you to really remove yourself from the business more so that the business can work without you in it. And we call this in Action Coach, we call this a commercial profitable enterprise that can work without you. It doesn't have to work without you, but it can work without you. And that's the litmus test, is like, can you actually achieve this? Now, practically, logically, if I just lay out what you need to do, then yeah, it's really easy to do, because these are the logical steps that you need to take. But the biggest thing that I see business owners struggle with is the mindset of moving and shifting from self-employed, the person that everybody goes to because you're the greatest at what you do, into a business owner. So I'm going to say good morning. So we've got some good morning comments here. Good morning, Amy. Nice to see you here. Lovely to welcome you onto this live. And Amy, tell me, do you see yourself having a self-employed mindset or a business mindset? It'd be great to hear your comments. And what keeps you there? What defines that mindset for you? So with self-employment, like I say, there's nothing wrong with having a self-employed mindset. It's very, very common. We get labeled as self-employed when we start a business up by our accountants and by the tax system. But what I want you to notice is that it can hold you back, and will eventually, when you reach the levels that you desire in your business, hold you back for growth in the future. So, okay, we talked about it. So then, if you think about a business owner mindset, which is letting go a lot more, recruiting and leveraging people and building systems in your business, that means that those people can run that business without you. And then you can expand your business much more without you having to be involved. You can quite clearly see that that does take a little bit of a shift in mind, a bit of a paradox shift in your thinking and your actions as well. But how do you do this? Well, look, the first thing that you need to think about is to separate yourself from your product. Whatever you do, whether you're a hairdresser, whether you're in a marketing agency, whether you're an accountant or whatever it is, you must separate yourself from your product. You are not your product. The problem with self-employment is that the self-employed mindset will mean that you hold on to that identity as you are the product. So letting go here is really key, and that takes a lot of energy and a lot of time to be able to break through that, because there's fear attached to that. If you become famous as a website designer in your marketplace, and then you're starting to employ other people and they get it wrong, or they don't quite do it the way you do it, or you get a customer complaint, all of a sudden you get you want to grab hold of the reins again. You kick in and say, look, I'm going to just have to do this myself. I'm the only one who can achieve this by my own. So you put your Superman trousers on, or your Wonder Woman trousers and pants on, and you pick everything up. And it's about being able to kind of let go with that. Amy, thank you for your comments. Let me just read this out. So definitely a self-employed mindset. I think you're right with the ego thing. My biggest problem is I can't let go of responsibility. I love that comment. And Amy, look, it's this normal, sensible, logical thinking. Okay, this is what our brains do. They're there to protect us from any risk out there. But it is being driven by our emotional mindset, our amygdala in our mind. And actually what we need to do is drive through past that into our logical mind and go, well, what is it I really want out of life? What is it I really want out of my business? And the only way that I'm going to get that probably is by shifting my mindset in some way, shape, or form. And letting go of responsibility is one of those things that is or can be quite difficult for people, particularly people, maybe Amy, like you, who have a really high level of responsibility. So therefore you kind of grab hold and take everything on. Delegation and doing it in small bite-sized chunks, small stepping stones of letting go of certain things that you know really deep down you shouldn't be doing, letting someone else deal with that, that would be the first step to do here, Amy. So letting go. Interesting that you raised the comment as I was talking about it as well. So thank you for that. So here's the second thing. Expand so your business can work without you. I mentioned it before. Build a commercial, something that people want to buy from you, profitable. You've got to make money in business, otherwise there's no point being in business. Enterprise that can work without you. And the only way that you can do this is by hiring people and building systems and leveraging things around you. So leveraging technology to make sure that you're efficient and effective and so on and so forth. So building systems. So if you've ever read Robert Kiyosaki's book, The Cash Flow Quadrant, he talks about that in there. He said that business owners earn from systems. They put systems in place. So if you think about, if you've ever watched it, the Ray Kroc movie, the McDonald's movie, where you've got the two original owners of McDonald's that are working really hard. They're employing people, but they're in the business so much, and they're just working in it. And then they franchised. They tried to franchise, but it didn't work. The systems didn't work, and so it flopped because they needed to take control. So it dropped, and Ray Kroc saw an opportunity and built the system that we now know as McDonald's. Doesn't matter where you go in the world, that system exists there, and you know. You don't ever see, we never saw Ray Kroc flipping you a burger in the past, right? It was the people around them. So whereas the self-employed people will earn money from work. So take heed of Robert Kiyosaki's tip here. Build the systems that you need to build in your business. And that will be everything from attracting new clients through to taking that prospect or that lead through to a customer, servicing that customer, collecting their money, and then keeping the relationship built with them. There's a system that you can build all around that, which will allow you to punch through and build a great business that other people can run for you. I've got another comment coming in. Nice to see you this morning, Jez. These points are definitely something that we are looking at now. Great to hear that, Jez. I know that you're going places and you've got great plans for the future. It's lovely to hear that. So hopefully there's one or two things here that just gets you thinking just that little bit differently today that you can carry on taking into your business as well. Here's the next thing. We talked about mindset, talked about self-employment, business owner mindset, and it's all very well me as a coach talking to you saying change your mindset. The question is well, how do you do that? And there are many different steps that you need to take to change your mindset, and there's no one thing fits all here. We need to be eclectic, we need to be consistent, we need to drive ourselves to ensure that we know what mindset we need to change and then go for that. We need to be learning, we need to pick up books. Do you know what? I picked up a book we're reading at the moment on our book club. It's called High Performance, Learning How to Be the Best from the Best. It's by Professor Damien Hughes and Jake Humphreys. It's a fantastic book. There's some really good examples in there, some great case studies that we can all learn from. And as I was listening to that, something was said. I listened to the Audible, by the way, but something was said in that book that reminded me of something that Tony Robbins had said, or I'd listened to probably 15 years before. And it was about focus and discipline and non-negotiables. And it was like, wow, these bits of information come together. So invest in yourself to change this mindset of yours from where you are to where you want to be. What the one tip I do want to change, the one tip I do want to share with you here is 3 questions that you can ask yourself, and this is directly from Jake and Damien in their high performance book as well. The questions are asking yourself, who am I? So if you answer that as I'm a self-employed, whatever your art is or whatever your product is, then that's who you become. And therefore that will be followed by your thinking and your actions as well. So if you can change that to maybe, you know, who am I? And you want to be a high performing business owner. So, okay. So what kind of situation is this? This is the second question. What kind of situation is this right now? And then ask the third question of what would someone like me do in this situation? So if you can imagine for a minute that you're self-employed and you say, who am I? I'm a self-employed hairdresser. What kind of situation is this? Customer's not happy. What would someone like me do in this situation? I'd put it right. It's my job, right? So do you see that? Now let's shift it. Let's change it to a business owner mindset. Who am I? I'm a high performing business owner. What situation is this? I've got a customer that's not happy. What would someone like me do in this situation? Assign responsibility for someone else, the person who made the mistake, to put it right and ensure there's a system in place in the future to ensure it doesn't happen again. Completely different mindset. So having yourself on that pedestal of being a business owner or becoming a business owner is incredibly important, and setting that mindset out. So those 3 questions again, write them down. Who am I? What kind of situation is this? What would someone like me do in this situation? So really, really good for mindset change as well. The fourth thing I'm going to share with you today is creating big goals, but goals that are bigger than yourself. You may have heard of this phrase before, of BHAGs. So they're big, hairy, audacious goals. And it was a phrase that was coined by Jim Collins and Jerry Paris in 1994's book that they wrote together called Built to Last. And it's been taken from that book and used a lot in business, and maybe even sort of changed a little bit. So BHAGs for them in Built to Last was what's our 100-year goal? What's our 50-year goal? You know, what would our business look like in the future? And some of those, if you think about some of those big, hairy, audacious goals that have come out in the past, you know, like democratizing vehicle use, for example. So, you know, taking from just elitists being able to afford cars to anyone being able to afford cars. And people go, oh, that would never happen. And it has. It's taken a long time, but it's got there. What about the use of the internet, making sure that, you know, fast broadband is available to, you know, the majority of people in the world? And that is yet to be achieved, but it is pretty much on target. And if we didn't have those big, audacious goals, we wouldn't achieve them. So what's yours in your business? Whether you're Jez, an electrician, Amy, with your marketing and social media expert, what's your BHAG? What do you really, really want to achieve in 15, 20, 25 years time? And then build around that mindset and around that goal to inspire other people to want to come and work with you and work for you to achieve that. There's a really great phrase that says, you know, playing solo will always lose out to a team. Always lose out to a team. And you can see that in sports. You know how fast and flexible and dynamic doubles tennis is, for example. Let's take the speed at which you go down a toboggan, you know, with a one-man sledge versus a four-man bobsleigh team. It's completely different. So thinking about what you can achieve as an individual versus what you can achieve with so many people around you is incredibly important to think about. So here's the thing, wherever you are right now is absolutely perfect. You have done an amazing job getting to where you are today. If you want change in the future, now is the perfect time just to stop, reflect, and think about what that change might be. What is it that you need to be doing? If you're currently in that state where you go, yeah, do you know what? I'm self-employed, but in the future, I'd love to have a business, maybe one that works without me. I work less hours. I can do these. I can do a little bit more in my life that I want to do. I could possibly sell my business without me being in it. That's going to be worth more as well in the future. Then now is a really great time to be thinking about, how do I make that shift? Even if you're making the initial shift in your mind that you're a business owner rather than a self-employed person, regardless of how many people you employ. And then take that action. So follow some of the tips that I've given you today. Go and read books like Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, or Built to Last by Jim Collins and Jerry Paris, or The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. So go and read some of those books. Get that knowledge inside you. One of the things that you can also do, and I can help you with too, is come to one of my events, come to one of my seminars. We run them every single month. We have really small groups, because my belief is that I can help people much, much more when we have 5, 6, 7 people in a room rather than 50 to 100 people in a room at my events, in my seminars. So it's a personal touch, really, to ensure that you get the very best out of that event. It's absolutely free. My next one's actually running today, but we're full. So I'm going to be running the next one on, when is it? Let's have a look. It's the 19th of January. No, that's today. Hold on a minute. That didn't work. I'm going to change this. 16th of February. It's a Wednesday, and it's running 12:30. This is what happens on lives, you see. Something doesn't quite go right, you've got to fix it. So there we go. Let me enter that. There we go. Wednesday, 16th of February. And it's 12:30 till 3:30. We're in Hinckley. I'm going to put in the chat now the link so that you can book onto that. You do need to book your place. They're booking up fast. I think we've got about 3 places left for February. And we'd love to see you there. The great thing about this event is that when you come in, you will be able to assess your business where you are today. And then you'll be able to take loads of strategies away with you to be able to build your business in the future to the shape that you want it, so that you can carve out your future. That's it. Okay. Go and reflect on this. Spend a little bit of time, 5 minutes even, just scribing some actions that you want to do, you are going to commit to as a result of this live. And I will see you here next week. We're back 9:30 next Wednesday for another live. You take care. Have an awesome rest of the day. Bye now.